If you are one of the many people who get in touch with me on a daily basis telling me that they struggle to stay asleep once they are asleep, they struggle to not keep waking up throughout the night, if that is you, this video is especially for you, and you are in the right place. First things first, my name is Danny Wilson, and I help performance-driven men just like you look, feel, and perform spectacularly every single day. If you like what I do, if you want more of this, hit subscribe and then hit the bell, ding, because that means that every single time I post a piece of content, you will know about it. Cool, let's get into it. So, fragmented sleep, as it is known as, your sleep is fragmented throughout the night. This can cause huge issues to your physical, mental, and emotional health, and I'm going to tell you why. The problem with fragmented sleep is you never quite get into the deeper levels of sleep, the deep sleep and the REM sleep. Deep sleep being physically restorative, REM sleep being emotionally restorative. So you can see that if you're not quite getting into those parts of your sleep opportunity, it's going to cause you issues. It's probably why you feel drained all of the time. It's probably why you never quite feel like you are recovered, refreshed, and ready to kind of rock the day. It's also why you're more than likely in a highly charged state. You're more than likely very, very reactive to any kind of situation. There's a few things that you can do. If, though, the good news is, I can give you a few little tips, a few little secrets, things that you can implement into your day, which aren't going to cost you a penny, and they are not going to take any of your mental bandwidth. They're not going to throw anything else on your already overspilling plate. The number one issue that I see with this is getting up in the night to go for a wee-wee. How can we kind of counteract this? It's very, very simple. And when I tell you, you're going to go, why didn't I think of that? What I'd like you to do, and this is what I do with my high-paying VIP clients, I implement a cut-off time for all fluids. Now, sometimes you say this to people and they're like, but I get so thirsty. I get so thirsty at night. Here's the thing. You are going to have to hold yourself to a slightly higher level, which means that you are going to have to consume your allocation of fluids for the day, whether that's 1, 2, or 3 liters of water. You're going to have to consume it earlier on in the day. You're going to have to be that little bit more mindful instead of getting to 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon and realizing that you've only had 1 liter of water when you're supposed to have 3. So hold yourself to that slightly higher standard. Get your fluids in throughout the day, and then give yourself a hard cutoff time. For me personally, it's 6 p.m. That gives me 3 to 4 hours to get rid of any fluids that I need to get rid of before I go to sleep. Because we know that when you are trying to sleep, you're not gonna wet the bed because your brain won't let you do that. When you are asleep, your brain secretes a hormone and it stops you going to the toilet. But anyway, you've still got that feeling building up. You've still got that pressure in the bladder building up, and it builds up to a point where it makes you uncomfortable. That discomfort then disturbs you and moves you from your sleep. That then causes you to get up and you need to go to the toilet. And it's just that little 1 to 2 minutes that it takes you to go to the toilet is enough for your brain to start thinking. It's enough for your brain to start going over things that it needs to do the next day. And then when we activate those patterns of thoughts and those patterns of behaviors, that's when we struggle to drift back off. So the second thing that I'd like you to look at doing is about an hour before you go to bed, very, very simply, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down a list of things that you need to do the next day. Once you've done that, 3 to 5 simple things, once you've done that, just write down anything that's kind of stressing you out, anything that's kind of worrying you, anything that's playing on your mind. Get it out of your head and get it onto paper. When we get things out of our head and onto paper, that means that we can make more sense of them. We can go through them and we can work out what it is that's going on. That also increases the chances that you are not going to think about it, you're not going to worry and stress about it, because it's out of your head and it's onto paper. Very, very simple. Number 3, do not ever take your phone into your bedroom. You watching this, I don't care what you say, you are 100% addicted to your phone. Knowing that your phone is 1.5 feet, 2 feet away from your head, for the majority of people is that big of a temptation that when you wake up in the night, you are subconsciously using muscle memory, you are just going to instinctively reach for your phone and start scrolling. And if you've watched any of my content or listened to anything that I said in other videos, you will know that shining a bright light in your eyes is the absolute worst thing that you can do if you are trying to get to sleep. So make the bedroom a phone-free zone. Now, I hear you. Yeah, but Danny, I use my phone for an alarm. Buy an alarm, dude. You can get an alarm off Amazon for about £3. Failing that, leave your phone outside your bedroom door. That is just far enough that you are not going to trouble yourself to get out of bed to go and look at your phone. Trust me, this one simple thing will absolutely change the game for you when it comes to your sleep. The fourth thing, the last thing, what I want you to think about doing now is make sure that you've got no clocks in your bedroom. Get rid of the clock off the wall. Turn your alarm clock over. The last thing you want to start doing, if you are waking up and you start clock watching, you are going to start thinking about the things that you need to do tomorrow. You are going to start looking at the clock and going, it's 3 o'clock, I've got to be up in 3 hours. That is going to play on your mind and that is going to cause absolute havoc. Hopefully, those few little tips will have given you something to think about. They are things that you can implement, so incredibly simple, into your evening routine, and they are going to give you huge returns. As with anything that I talk about, as with any of the advice that I give you, it's on you, my friend, to implement this advice and start living a much more spectacular life immediately. Hopefully this has helped, and I will catch you on the next video.